I'm just being told that the U.S. President, Donald Trump, has now said that Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, is indeed dead. This assessment coming from the President of the United States. I'm going to take this now to Ali Hashem and James Bays. This is the information we have right now, that the U.S. President is saying, okay, moments ago when we started this show, the quote from Donald Trump was, I believe that that is accurate, that being an Israeli assessment of Khamenei's death. What Trump is now saying is different. He has upgraded his assessment to Khamenei is now dead. Ali Hashem. Ali Khamenei has run Iran for almost 4 decades. He is the embodiment of the Islamic Revolution. He is the second supreme leader that Iran has ever had. We don't know for sure. Now, let's assume this is true, okay? We don't know for sure what happens in Iran once Ali Khamenei is confirmed dead.
Well, whenever Iran is going to announce, just in case this is true, because till the moment, as we were saying, the Iranian sources are denying that the supreme leader has been killed. And now we just saw a tweet on his account on Twitter, on X. Now, just in case this is confirmed, immediately the system is going to move the power to a council of 3, the president, the head of the judiciary, and a member of the Guardian Council. This is according to the Iranian constitution. Then the assembly of experts, in case they were able to convene, will have to elect a new supreme leader.
But this is all, if that's how the system is designed to work.
Yes.
But we don't know. The point I'm making is that the system is now being tested, perhaps like never before. We don't know whether those who are supposed to elect a successor to Khamenei will be able to convene. We don't know whether the system will be able to, you know what I'm going to do? As is so often the case now, this information comes on Donald Trump's social media accounts. So this is what he posted 2 minutes ago on Truth Social. Khamenei, all of this are direct quotes, it's on your screens. Khamenei, one of the most evil people in history, is dead. This is not only justice for the people of Iran, but for all great Americans and those people from many countries throughout the world that have been killed or mutilated by Khamenei and his gang of bloodthirsty thugs. He was unable to avoid our intelligence and highly sophisticated tracking systems, and working closely with Israel, there was not a thing that he or the other leaders that have been killed along with him could do. This is the single greatest chance for the Iranian people to take back their country. We are hearing that many of their IRGC, military and other security and police forces no longer want to fight and are looking for immunity from us. As I said last night, quote, now they can have immunity, later they only get death. This is a long message, so bear with us. Hopefully, Trump continues, hopefully the IRGC and police will peacefully merge with the Iranian patriots and work together as a unit to bring back the country to the greatness that it deserves. That process should soon be starting, in that not only the death of Khamenei, but the country has been in only one day very much destroyed and even obliterated. The heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as necessary to achieve our objective of, capital letters, peace throughout the Middle East and indeed the world, exclamation mark. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Al Jazeera's Mike Hanna is joining us from Washington, D.C. Mike, this was posted 2 minutes ago. What information did you have just before this came online? What information did you have on your end? What are you hearing from your sources, whether it's the White House, whether it's the State Department, or whether it's the Pentagon?
Well, we had heard President Trump say publicly in an interview a short while ago that he believed that the Ayatollah Khamenei was indeed dead. And he said as well that he believed that a large number of the Iranian leadership had also been killed. But now we've got that full statement on Truth Social, which you just read. So you've got all the details of that particular statement, making very clear that the President of the United States believes that the Ayatollah Khamenei is dead. Also noting at the end of that statement the comment that the heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted through the week or as long as necessary to achieve our objective. Now, earlier in the day, President Trump was talking about the possibility of these strikes lasting a few days and then returning again should Iran continue its nuclear development program, as the U.S. claims that it has been doing. But in the same interview, he also said that he could last as long as it takes to take over everything. So not very clear in terms of the president's mind whether there is a timeline in this, whether there's an off-ramp to this conflict. But now we see as well the president doubling down in that Truth Social posting, confirming reports that originally originated in Israel that the Ayatollah Khamenei has been killed in these strikes, along with a number of other senior Iranian leaders.
Mike Hanna, thank you very much. I want to take this to James Bays. James, a long statement. What is your first impression of this?
Well, my first impression before this statement, when we had Trump just speaking about this, was perhaps Trump was repeating what he'd been told by the Israelis, and it was the same Israeli chatter and the same one unconfirmed source. But now you've read out that long, very carefully drafted statement. Someone thought about that, someone wrote it carefully. Yes, there's some Trump flourishes in there, but it's a very well prepared statement. That certainly the way that would normally work, and the Trump administration doesn't always work the way that previous administrations have, is that would have gone through the US intelligence community. That would have gone through the CIA. There are a total of 18 different intelligence agencies in the United States. And they would, one would have thought, normally have to have quite a high degree of confidence before putting that out. Because remember the stakes here. President Trump set this as the goal of this operation. He made it clear he wanted to remove the supreme leader. He wanted people to rise up and take over control in Iran. That was the bar he set himself. So if he is wrong about this, then he's going to, it's not going to look very good.
It is 21:46 GMT, and I'm going to remind all our viewers just joining us of what we've found out. Minutes ago, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, posted a long message on his social media, Truth Social, saying that the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, a nemesis of the United States, is now dead. Those are the words of Donald Trump. The message goes something like this: he is dead. This is justice. The words of Donald Trump. This is justice for all the people whom he has hurt. He was unable to avoid our intelligence and our tracking system. And Donald Trump frames this as a chance for Iranians to take back their country. You see the message there on your screen, to take back their country. Donald Trump also says two more crucial things. He is hearing that the IRGC, that is Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, that are really the military backbone of this system, of the Iranian Islamic Revolution. He's hearing, he says, that the IRGC may no longer want to fight. Remember that Donald Trump this morning, when he declared war on Iran, had said lay down to addressing the IRGC, and all of Iran's law enforcement and security forces had said lay down your weapons and you will get immunity. He is saying that that may be happening, his words. And he expresses hope that the police, IRGC, and law enforcement will now side with the Iranian population, all of this again in Donald Trump's framing, and take back their country, but that the U.S. bombing on Iran will very much continue throughout the week. That is the substance of the message by the U.S. president. Your thoughts, Ali?
Well, the statement is clear from the American side, from the Israeli side, very certain. And the amount of certainty that we are seeing from the Israelis and the American gives us indication, very strong indication that this has happened. Till the moment, we don't have a voice from Iran coming out and saying this is not true, at least what we heard from the foreign minister, that the supreme leader, as far as he knows, is alive. Then the spokesperson to the foreign ministry also stressed that the supreme leader and the president survived the attack. According to sources on the ground I'm talking to, they're saying that the supreme leader is alive. Now, over here we have two conflicting accounts, but the amount
Shall
of
we tell our
certainty...
viewers this is absolutely to be expected in a situation like this? Like, you absolutely expect in a war like this, one side to say to claim victory, whatever victory that might be. In this case, it is the killing, according to Donald Trump, of the Iranian supreme leader, and the other side to completely deny it. And usually it takes a few hours, sometimes more, by the way, sometimes days, for the dust to settle and for us to get certainty. This is normal.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why we cannot come out with a conclusion. What we can is just to report what Trump is saying and what Netanyahu is saying on one side, and on the other side, they're denying. So,
and as somebody who covers Iran, you have many times been in the position where there has been a source or there has been information that Ali Khamenei had been killed, and the question was put to you, and you'd had to exercise caution.
On several occasions, there were reports of Khamenei being dead, but also on other occasions. Now, this is not the occasion of a leader being killed. For example, when Qasem Soleimani was killed, just like
former head of the IRGC,
former head of the Quds Force, and a very influential commander in Iran. In just like a couple of hours, he was announced dead. Now, in 2024, when the president's plane crashed, the helicopter, May 2024, along with the foreign minister, it took them some time to announce, but we were all in the situation to understand that there is something happening because the plane crashed and there's no news. But now, what they are saying till the moment is that he is safe.
Denial, strong denial from the Iranians.
Now, is this because we are in the middle of a war and the Iranian government or the system wants to preserve the morale and all these things? This is another.
I want to go straight to the Iranian capital, see what we can find out from there. Al Jazeera's Tawhid Asadi is in Tehran. Tawhid, on your end, what are you hearing?
Well, on my end, what I'm hearing from different sources is quite contradictory to this very recent strong statement by the U.S. President Donald Trump, who came out with a significant amount of certainty about the death of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. First, it was the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi coming out to say that, quote-unquote, as far as he knows, the Iranian Supreme Leader, as well as the President, as well as the Secretary for the National Security Council of the country, Ali Larijani, and the Speaker of the Parliament are all alive. This is what we heard earlier from him. Also, we've got the head of public relations of Supreme Leader's office saying that, following these reports, saying that these are sort of psychological warfare from the enemy. And also Iranian official news agencies such as Tasnim and Mehr News are all saying that Iranian Supreme Leader is firm and steadfast, commanding the battlefield. These are the reports. But added to that is that earlier today, or now I should say yesterday, we witnessed the Pastor neighborhood being targeted several times by this campaign of strikes by the Americans and Israelis. And for our viewers, this is the neighborhood that key important facilities and of course places politically speaking are located, such as the office of the Supreme Leader, as well as the office of Iranian President, as well as two important military universities, and these are critically important, seeing the very recent reports that are coming. And of course, speaking of the official statements, I can say denial is the gist of the matter when it comes to these reports. But previously, back in June, when we had a sort of similar situation following the initiation of the first day of the attacks, we've got very immediate reactions, very immediate confirmations about the deaths of very, very important figures